Baki, one of, if not the best anime and manga of its genre, and I decided to go through every arc to see just who is the strongest in each of these arcs. Besides Baki and Yujiro Hanma, of course, I believe those two are just in a whole nother league when compared to any other characters, and if I included either one of them, they would just no diff every single arc. And I will also be skipping certain arcs like the arc where Baki was literally just shadowboxing. And before I start today's video, let me know in the comment section below, which arc from Baki is your favorite? And if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. And to start off, we have the Most Evil Death Row Convicts arc. And I believe that Retsu had shined in this arc, as Retsu had completely demolished Dorian as a character during their fight, who is what I believe to be the strongest of all of the inmates, with Dorian even defeating Katsumi with complete ease. Dorian had even choked Katsumi with his own black belt before throwing a wooden board at Katsumi's neck, which resulted in Katsumi bleeding heavily, and this actually ended the entire fight, and with Retsu even causing Dorian to become mentally disabled after losing to him, this just proves Retsu's power and abilities even more. And even though Dorian was injured from previous fights, Retsu still took him down with a single strike and completely ruined his life. And now for the Great Chinese Challenge arc, I would say that Kaku would be the strongest of this arc, with Kaku having the hardest fight of the entire arc with a 1 vs 1 against Yujiro Hanma, with Yujiro even activating Demon Back at one point during their fight. And also, Kaku was doing pretty well against Yujiro. Kaku had even made Yujiro bleed at one point, which is a feat of its own, as well as Kaku enduring multiple of Yujiro's punches, and he could have actually put up a pretty good fight up against Yujiro, but sadly he died of old age during their fight, naming Yujiro the victor. And that ending is crazy enough, but the even crazier thing is that he came back alive after the fight. So this man died of old age, and I guess somebody got his reboot card and he came back. And as for the Great Prison Battle arc, for this arc I would obviously say Biscuit Oliva is the strongest character. For obvious reasons, his fight with Baki was a marking point in Baki's progress, as well as Biscuit violating everybody he ran into during this arc, with Biscuit even at one point R. Kellying Baki. This man's disrespect was just on a whole nother level. And now, one of my personal favorite arcs, the Pickle Wars arc. Pickle absolutely dominated in this arc, destroying everybody in his path in the process. And this arc alone solidified Pickle as a debatably top 5 character in Baki, with him defeating the likes of Retsu, Hanayama, Katsumi, Jack, and even Baki. Pickle had even made Jack Hanma realize that he would not be able to become the strongest with his current mentality. And with Pickle's immense strength, insanely aggressive fighting style, and notorious streak of this arc, I believe Pickle was the strongest at the time. And now, the Warrior Struggle arc. And in this arc, Retsu had began his redemption after losing to Pickle, by taking on boxing to prove his martial arts style to be superior, with Retsu absolutely destroying all of his boxing opponents. So it's pretty fair to say that Retsu was the strongest in this arc. And now, we are finally onto Baki Dao, the Miyamoto arc. Musashi Miyamoto was introduced to the manga with him being resurrected from the dead by a witch doctor, and as he came back, he would start to fight the strongest characters in Baki, including Baki himself, Dappo, Motobe, Retsu, Shibukawa, Pickle, Gaia, Hanayama, and even the ogre himself, Yujiro Hanma. Musashi had came to the series immediately destroying and embarrassing almost all of the main cast characters of Baki, and Musashi was putting up quite possibly the biggest fight up against Yujiro Hanma that we have ever seen, with even Yujiro praising him and Yujiro saying that it was more or less a dream to fight Musashi. Musashi had made Yujiro bleed, thrown him, endured his attacks, outsped Yujiro's reaction time, and effectively turned Retsu into a meme, with Musashi's domination ending with his soul being sucked out of his body. I know that sounds odd, but that is what happened, I swear. And next, we have the God of Sumo arc, and I believe Jack Hanma is the strongest in this arc. With Jack returning after being devastated with his loss to Pickle, now having learned his new technique named Gouda. With his new mentality during his fights, accompanied by Jack being shown as an extremely powerful person, I believe Jack was the strongest fighter in this arc. And even though this arc was based mainly around the sumo wrestler Sukune, Jack Hanma had bit off his finger, which somewhat led to Sukune's downfall, accompanied by the fact that Jack would then continue to go on to have a match with Sukune and beat him there as well through the use of his Gouda. Jack had redeemed and proved himself to be one of the strongest characters in the Baki series. And now, last but not least, we have the Jack Hanma arc from Baki Rahen, where, as you have probably guessed, Jack Hanma is yet again the strongest fighter in the arc so far, with Jack making the #1 swordsman in Japan look like a nobody. Hell, Jack had even gained Yujiro Hanma's respect as both a fighter and as a son. Then Jack fought a fighter named Kosho and defeated him via bite, leaving Kosho in rough shape after the fight. And with Jack's progression since his initial fight with Pickle, he now may be able to defeat Pickle due to all of the training that he's been doing. But we also have to keep in mind, we haven't seen if Pickle has gotten any stronger. I mean, after all, he is looking bigger than before, with him now completely filling out his frame. But that's gonna be all for today. And if you enjoyed today's video and would like to support me, then you can leave a like and subscribe. It's completely free on your end and helps me out way more than you may think. And once again, if you would like to interact with me, my community, show off your art, drop some memes, just talk in general, or maybe even self-promote, then you can join the Discord that can be found in the description box below. And also, I skipped the original Baki series mainly because of my lack of intelligence when it comes to power scaling in that series, as the last time that I watched the original Baki, it was a very long time ago, as well as me skipping a few other arcs such as the strongest father and son quarrel arc, in which this arc had two main characters, Baki and Yujiro Hanma, in which it is just obvious that Yujiro is the strongest character. So I felt that this just didn't need a segment. And please remember, this is all up to interpretation, and in this video I am simply stating my opinion on who I think is the strongest of each arc. But once again, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!